Green Man! 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 Holy YouTube video, Green Man!
Hey everyone, it's Wednesday, it's Counting Comics Day here on the Grey Man channel. Check out the blog below if you want more information about these comic books, and yeah, I'll do a little bit of a blog on my blog basically. And yeah, so I'm going to go through this box and see what is inside. Ooh. Right, so first off, a couple of random Detective Comics in here. I'm not sure what they're doing in here. I'm sure I had another Detective Comics Batman box that I did recently. It could be that that box was so full that I couldn't just jam these two copies in there. So $5.99 and $600. So, and then let's making sure they're single issues. Yeah, those are two single issues there. Right. We also have an 80-page giant. Alright, then we have the Kingdom. Magog there, sitting on his throne. Let's make sure they're getting a good picture of it, that's a bit better. We seem to have some Kingdom side issues. The Kingdom Night Star. And I wonder if these are characters from the Kingdom world, because it was different on a different world, wasn't it? So I wonder if Night Star and this Kid Flash, who is a lady from this alternate timeline and this alternate dimension that the Kingdom books are based in. Okay, then we have a little 5-parter of Man Bat. I went through some Man Bat last week on my channel. I had a couple of 5-parters or 3-parters in my last Counting Comics video. So I think that means I've probably got all the little Man Bat side comics. I think there may be an early like Man Bat run that I don't have. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, he's not a bad character, old Man Bat. Quite tragic, really. You know, he's... What's his name? Oh, I was just looking up his name just the other day, and now it's completely gone from my head when I was trying to remember. I know his wife's called Francine. Langstrom, Kirk Langstrom is Man Bat's name. He took this, I think the Man Bat serum was meant to have been, for its healing purposes, it was meant to be a healing serum for people to combat some disease or other, but then he didn't reckon on the side effects of it actually turned him into a Man Bat. So yeah, unfortunate. Right, now much of this box seems to be made up of old Justice League. So we have Justice League first issue here. But Blue Beetle joined this is 87, and I think he joined the team after his own book dissolved. And I never initially enjoyed this run. In fact, I never collected it I think I collected a few, and I was so annoyed with how they was portraying Blue Beetle Ted Kord that I stopped collecting it. And then later on, when I was going eBay crazy, and I managed to pick up the full run on eBay. So I think I bid a fair bit to get hold of the full run, and I enjoyed it a lot more when I had a little bit of separation from the initial upset, if you know what I mean. So yes. Oh, here we go. Look, Possessed by the Power of the Grey Man. Now, I mentioned this in my first comic video back when I had no friends into comics. Before I knew about the comic community, and I did mention that the Grey Man from this comic book is, basically what my channel is named after. He's like a lord of evil, lord of chaos or order. I can't remember if it's order or chaos he's a lord of. But yeah, he was in this book, and this is about the time that probably got my first internet connection or something, or maybe a little bit afterwards. And I was joining up some comic board forum or whatever, and I was like, what name should I call myself? And my name is Graham, and I've always had Grey as my nickname. Everyone calls me Grey, although I spell it with an E like the colour. I think this is the spelling of grey in America. They use an A, but in England and I don't know, some other places we use E for the spelling of the colour grey. But maybe it's just I don't know, maybe both countries use it, but just different times, different spelling. I'm not sure if there's a reason why it's spelled with an E and with an A at different times. But anyway, yeah, that's the guy that I'm named for. He's not on the cover, but the Grey Man is basically what this channel is named after. Partially, anyway. Well, those have gone out of order for some reason. So 6, then 7, and then 8. So if anyone was ever wondering why I'm called the Grey Man, and you never saw my first video, that's the reason. When I say my first video, I mean my first comic video. Because my first video probably wouldn't have been at all relevant in... I can't remember what my first video is. I think it might be a clip of an ice speedway find that I went to. Right, so... Millennium, that was the first crossover event that I collected. So yeah, I thought it was late 80s that I really started collecting in earnest. Well, actually early 80s. So yeah, no, it is late 80s, but early in 88. No, I must have started collecting a little bit before that, actually. So maybe 87. When did the Blue Beetle run happen? It was just after the Crisis on Infinite Earths. That Blue Beetle, because that's when he came into the DC main continuity after they purchased all the Charlton characters. His name is Wayne, Bruce Wayne. Justice League International. Yeah, that was a weird, quirky character. I can't remember what his name was, but he was like an ultra space capitalist kind of thing. Reign of Terror. Suicide Squad versus Justice League International. And now I think there was a crossover. I think there's a similar cover like this, but for the Suicide Squad run. I'm sure there is, where the Suicide Squad are the attackees of the Justice League. I think that's the case. Right, 17. Blue Beetle's in trouble. Oh, this one. Guy Gardner's in trouble. Guy Gardner is not having a nice day. There's Lobo there, an early looking Lobo. But in this next one, the tables are turned. I'm back. And Guy Gardner is grabbing the lapels of Lobo and staring into his face in an I'm going to kick your ass kind of way. Yeah, the title started off as Justice League, then it went to Justice League International, and later on I'm pretty sure it morphs into Justice League America. Granny goodness, have I got a deal for you? There's that capitalist space guy I was telling you about. I'm sure he had the robot Elron. I think Elron ends up being a Justice League like a butler or something like that. I'm sure he sort of joins the Justice League, helping them out. He's quite a fun little character. I can't remember what this guy is called though. Of course, Justice League International, Justice League. This one is when Booster Gold and Blue Beetle became the Blue and the Gold. And well, here's another fine mess you've gotten us into. Kind of like a Laurel and Hardy pastiche, maybe. Oberon Unleashed. The Injustice League. These were a bit, these got turned into a massive joke really in this one, didn't they? When Major Disaster, I'm pretty sure he first showed up in the Green Lantern books. He was not treated as a joke in any way. But yeah, then in this one, they all became, just a bit of a joke really. But it's all right if you don't mind that kind of thing. You know, I hated it at the time, the fact that I thought it was not taking the characters seriously, especially Blue Beetle. But looking back on it and just thinking of it like just for a bit of fun, for a laugh, you know, try not to think about, you know, the usual seriousness of the superhero comic books, and just enjoy it for what it is basically. Then, you know, I was able to enjoy it for that. But at the time, it just infuriated me. Alright, 25. Now, it's annoying to me that even, I didn't think about it at the time, but when I first started collecting properly in 88, when a comic book shop opened down the road from me, I never thought about buying old comic books. I literally had my monthly books, and that was all I did. I put my monthly order in, went and picked them up every month, read them. I wish at the time I'd thought to pick up older books. You know, it just didn't occur to me. I didn't think about it. I didn't, it's just, never mind. That's all I can say. It's a parody on the old Exorcist cover, isn't it? The old Exorcist movie, but it looks like Amanda Waller turning up at Justice League America. That definitely looks like the wall to me, just from her silhouette. Don't be bashful, babe. This is our night to howl. Oh man, I love you. I don't know who he's talking to. But yeah, trash. Toss it here. That's interesting because the old cover blurb on the bottom of the thing has been made into the art. I'm not sure what those things are called. It's I don't know what those things are called. They must have a name. Sometimes if it's direct one, they have a barcode in there, don't they? So yeah, this is still saying JLI, but the title is now changed over to Justice League America. Dr. Fate. She's back. Mysterious and vastly improved Dr. Fate. Now, Dr. Fate, I've got that one as well, where Inza Nelson takes over from Kent Nelson, and I've got that full run, and that was quite humorous as well. But I really enjoyed that one. But maybe it was because of the fact that it wasn't, mocking characters that I'd really liked in their solo books. It was still kind of serious, and its serious moments, but mainly it was just humorous. But yeah. I guess I'll come across those books at some point when I'm counting comics. Alright, now I did my haul video last week, my latest big haul, my last one for a while, if I keep my oath, and chap joined me in the premiere that I was doing. I can't remember what his name was now. He had a name with like numbers in it and stuff. And he says that he always checks out my Counting Comics videos, which is cool, because I do wonder if anybody actually checks these things out. They're always the least watched of my videos. Like I get like 7 or 8 blinking people watching them, maybe 1, 2 comments if I'm lucky. So if you do watch these videos and enjoy them, do leave a comment. It always is heartening to hear from people. And put the old thumbs up, because otherwise it's just like you feel you're talking to yourself and wasting your time. And if you've got any comments you want to make about what I say in the video, then yeah, that's even better. We can have some interaction. Right. But yeah, shout out to the guy who watched my big haul video premiere with me last week. I can't remember what your name was now, but yeah, cheers for watching. If you make a comment, I'll shout you out your name next week if you want that kind of thing. What are you looking at? There's old Despero there, giving Martian Manhunter a good kicking by the looks of it. And Mr. Miracle, R.I.P. in this one. I don't think he stays dead, put it that way. Okay, Justice League America. Maxwell Lord, Under Fire. Don't you people believe in knocking? So it's another thing that's awkward with these. I'm not sure if I said that in this video or another video I made recently, but it's hard to sort of like read an old comic book when in the future he's going to be an evil sod. He's going to kill one of your favourite characters of all time. So it's going to be hard to sort of read these through again, having pre-knowledge of that, because you won't be able to sort of feel any sympathy for him or anything. Special membership drive issue, Starman there, what's it, El Diablo, Blue Beetle, Mr. Miracle, Martian Manhunter, and Hawk and Dove. Thanks, but no thanks. No way, maybe some other time. So it looks like none of those people are interested in joining the Justice League of America. I did like Hawk and Dove. That was another one of those comics. Another one of those comics that I collected, like in the late 80s. One of the earliest runs that I completed the whole run of. Carl and Barbara Kessel were at the end of the run. They totally destroyed the characters because they decided that Hawk was going to become Monarch, and that Monarch Hawk from the future was going to kill Dove. And it's like, oh, cheers, DC Comics. Thanks for that. Thanks for killing off characters that I've invested my love into. Right, here we see that Guy Gardner is a comic book fan, and the book that he loves is, he obviously got some money to buy some Golden Age General Glories there. Watch out, Adolf. Or maybe they're reprints. There could be reprints, but they do say buy warp ones on them. But yeah, Guy Gardner is a comic book fan, and he loves this guy, General Glory, who just so happens to have been a real character and comes to life. There you go. I think he was an old man, and he couldn't remember his magic spell that gave him the glory, the General Glory powers. And here we find them fighting Das Uberbot. Does he look like anyone you know? Or, not necessarily know personally, but know from history. Adolf Uberbot. Alright, number 4 of Glory Bound, and General Glory is in pokey for some reason. And then we have the conclusion, the 50th issue. Guy Gardner meets his maker. No kidding. When it says meets his maker, does it mean the person who gave him his powering, or the maker as in the big god up in the sky maker? Okay. Squeezed into the back of a cab. The fight of the century. Guy Grinder Gardner versus Blue Battling Beetle. 12-round championship bout. Produced in association with Maxwell Lord Enterprises. Looking very sad on that one. Breakdowns, part 1. I'm sorry. Oh, is this when Blue Beetle had a dodgy ticker? They decided he had a dodgy ticker. I know at one point in this run he gets overweight, doesn't he? Becomes bloody chubby Blue Beetle. Okay, Justice League America. Oh, the Global Guardians. I said Gardens then. The Global Guardians versus Justice League America. But these aren't just Global Guardians, though, is it? That looks like Power Girl. She wasn't a Global Guardian. And Martian Manhunter's not a Global Guardian. Flash isn't a Global Guardian. I think that one's called Ares. I don't know that one. Is it Neptune or something weird like that? I can't remember. He's got like a magic eye that fires beams. Unless Jack O'Lantern, you can just tell that from the back there. This could be Owl Woman. I'm just throwing out possibles. I'm not even sure if there is an Owl Woman, to be honest. Just that name popped into my head. But names do occasionally pop into my head, and I just have to say them. Yeah, a recent video I was talking about Sondra Kinsolving, and the name jumped into my head. I thought that's the character's name. I'm sure Sondra Kinsolving's her name. Considering I have not read the book for 15 years or something, and I was right. I was like, wow. Sometimes my brain does good. Other times it does rubbish. But every now and again, the little fact will jump out that would be accurate. Well, here's another fine mess. There's another play on the Laurel and Hardy cover we saw back there with the famous Laurel and Hardy phrase. Looks like they're on the menu. Alright, the final chapter, number 60, Breakdowns Part 15. That's a long old... looks like it's crossing over with another title because there's Part 13 and this is Part 15. So it probably crossed over with Justice League Europe, perhaps. The all-new JLA, Pawns of the Weapons Master. That looks like it's a homage to an old cover as well. Wasn't there a famous Justice League cover where someone's playing chess with the lives of the Justice League members? I'm sure that's a take on that one. Looks very familiar. Right, Trapped by the Weapons Master. The Weaponeers of Quad, or Quad. Never knew how to say it. Right, that's it, heroes. I quit. Okay. You're powerful, but you're a pain in the ass to deal with anyway, Guy Gardner. So, you know, you won't be missed that much. No, you will be in a fight, but yeah, your personal behaviour won't be missed, I'm sure. Alright, number 65. The good thing with the blog this week is I haven't got that many books, hopefully. There was a couple of massive long runs in here. I haven't got to do so much on the blog. I think last week's blog, I've not even finished it yet, even though I posted it up. I've finished half the characters on there because there's just so many individual books. It was loads of 4-parters and 3-parters and individual books. And it was just like, oh, I can't be bothered to write about all these, especially for the 4 views that he gets. Alien Terror. Ew, where'd all this goo come from? I think the guys behind you know where the goo came from. That's that, what is his name? Bloodwind or something like that? Possibly Bloodwind, I can't remember now. But yeah, he's not all he seems to be. What are you earthlings doing with my property? Ugh. Getting slimed by it by the looks of it. Oh, who could this guy be here? He's all covered in green and wrapped up with chains and belts and stuff. Doomsday. Doesn't ring a bell. No. I wonder if he ever becomes popular or ever gets used again. Oh, hold on a second. We got this number 70. Superman is dead. The morning after begins here. Yeah, and that was Doomsday. I don't think that's his first appearance. It's an early appearance because he's still wearing the containment suit that he emerged in. Yeah, I don't see that containment suit was ever going to contain him. Yeah, I think he was in hibernation or something like that, and then he popped up and killed Superman. Oh yeah, he's done a number on Blue Beetle as well there. But yeah, Superman beat the big one, I'm afraid. Superman is dead. Who will join the new Justice League America? It's a nice matte black cover. Looks good, that. Black and white as well. Interesting. Right, Justice League America, Destiny's Hand, Part 1. Was Hawkman the person who joined the team? Was Hawkman wearing a power ring in that one? So it looks like a yellow power ring. I know Guy Gardner had a yellow power ring at one point, didn't he? That he got from the Weaponeers of Quard. Yeah, not too sure what that one's about. I still can't remember that guy's name's Bloodwind. I think it was Bloodwind. Blood something or other. For some reason, wind. Yeah. Not something you want, Bloodwind. Blood Secrets, Part 1 of 2. It's the Ray there. Blood Secrets, Part 2 of 2. Yeah, I'm never very good at keys. So if anyone spots a nice key in my collection at all, something I may not have known, just feel free to give me a holler as well. Because, yeah, I'm not normally that smart with keys. Because until I started doing these videos, I didn't even really know about keys. I mean, it's quite obvious there would be like first appearances and last appearances and deaths and major events and all that kind of thing. But I never really knew of it as a term and not something I ever thought about. Same as variants. I never even knew about variants particularly. I was just always just been about reading the comic book. I'm useless at remembering who did what art, who wrote what story. And there's a few that I do know. But these people who just hold up a comic book and go, oh yeah, that's a so-and-so, so-and-so. And that one's a thingy bob, a jiggly bob. And I'm like, oh, how the hell do you know? unless it's written in bold letters, I won't know who it is. Right, this I assume is Kevin West, because someone down here has signed West 93. Yeah, and it says Kevin West up there. So that was the only way that I would know that. We're into the 90s now, 93. This is the kind of style of the comics then. I think I still prefer this style to the modern day style. I mean, I like the art. You can't fault the art on the modern day comic books. They're just like beautiful, works of art. These like different variants you're getting, but it's just, don't judge the book by the cover, really. I like the art on these ones. It shows everything that I want to see. It shows some characters that I like preparing for battle with a menace looming over them. Possibly a relative of Ice. Of course, Ice was Ice Maiden in the Global Guardians before, wasn't she? God in the Machine. Ray and Captain Atom. Raising Hell. And Rage Against the Machine. Judgment Day, Second Coming. So crossing over with something else because we've gone on to part 4 now. Probably crossing over with maybe another Justice League book. Judgment Day 4, and then Farewell to a Friend. Yeah, this is jarring, I thought, because a lot of the time the Justice League America was all fun and games and laughs and ha ha ha, bwah, ha ha ha, let's go and try and make a casino on Cooey Cooey Cooey, and oh look at One Punch, and look at Blue Beetle, he's overweight, oh how big laughs, and then out of the blue, slam, Ice got killed. And it's like, oh, there's a fine way to change the tone of the comic book. Can you not make your minds up? You're going to be laughy, jokey, or you're going to have superheroes dying, Right, this is the original Justice League America, led by Triumph. And then, of course, Triumph was another of those characters they brought in, and they decided, no, we don't like that after all, and then killed him off again. I think they killed him off anyway, I'm pretty sure they did. Either that or he's mad or something like that. Yeah, he was originally, the idea was he originally was supposed to have started the Justice League of America, but he'd been forgotten about because he was lost in some kind of time loop or dimensional thing that made everyone else forget about him. Pretty standard kind of stuff for a comic book history. I thought it was quite a good story, actually. I felt sorry for him. I quite liked the character. But I think lots of people didn't, I think. And so they decided, no, I'm not even sure if it's even I don't think it's in continuity anymore. So I think that's been written off. I think the whole character's been written out of existence. Poor fella. Not so much of a triumph, really. In fact, the complete opposite of a triumph. Alright, Justice League America, Second Judgment. Blast from the Past. I don't know who that guy is they're fighting. And then we've got... Come on, Speed Freak, take your best shot. I think Flash could probably, well, definitely run rings around Blue Devil. The Coming of Strange Brood. And then we have the 100th issue. Bit damaged this one by the looks of it. Looks like he's got a spine roll, but the spine doesn't look too bad on it. It's just like maybe the front cover's not quite wide enough. I'm not sure if that was is it a fold out or anything? No. There's a little bit, look at that, there's a little bit of damage along the staples there. Quite sad, that. Never mind. Don't think it's a valuable book in any way, anyway. 101. 102, A Feast for a Hungry Planet. Deathstalk, 103. Looks like Metamorpho's gone a bit crazy. It's gone a bit cray-cray, as the kids say nowadays. I've no idea who this guy at the bottom here is. Don't recognise him at all. That's the Crimson Fox. Got some metal on her now as well. Wonder if she got an upgrade. 104, The Worm Returns. And then we've got the crossovers in the Underworld Unleashed storyline. Lots of people were selling their souls in return for extra power, weren't they? I can't recall off the top of my head how many did that. I think the Blue Devil did that, didn't he? The Blue Devil was somehow responsible for like a massive loss of life. Like he had to do some task in return for getting extra power. And it wasn't like a massively, it wasn't like a nasty task. It seemed like a pretty innocuous and innocent task, but it had one of those knock-on effects kind of thing, where like in The Nail, where for a want of whatever something was lost, blah blah blah, and I think it had that kind of knock-on effect. So he did something which led to a massive explosion, a blinking, I don't know, maybe a nuclear plant or some kind of power facility, and but he got extra power out of it. There he is. Look, you see, he's got extra power there by the looks of him. He's been upgraded in this one. But yeah, I think that happened in the Underworld Unleashed. I've got a feeling I never got all that Underworld Unleashed story for some reason. I seem to recall that I was collecting it, and then I never got to find out what happened in the end. I'm not sure how that was. It Neron in Underworld Unleashed? I think other villains that got upgrades. I think Constrictor got an upgrade, and also Killer Moth, I think, got an upgrade to. I think it was Killer Moth. Anyway, but it became an actual kind of moth monster with a weird name, Caraxus or something like that. I can't remember. I actually looked it up the other day. Then I've forgotten it again because it's quite a tricky name. I think it's like a Latin name for a moth. But yeah, he's got quite creepy. But I'm not sure what other characters got upgrades in the Underworld Unleashed and how many of the upgrades stuck. Maybe after the Neron was defeated, maybe the upgrades all went. I'm not sure. JLA Incarnations, Generation Gap. Interesting. Seem to be fighting each other there, the older generation and the new generation. Friends and enemies. Yeah, the world's greatest super history. There you go. That's what it tells you what the story is about. So it's showing you the history of the JLA. So the first one was obviously they're fighting the Justice Society, probably from like Earth 2. This is before they had the crisis events that stopped there being multiple Earths, sucked them all down into one Earth. Then we got the different incarnations basically of the Justice League of America. This is the one out of Detroit, wasn't it, where had a bit of a tragic end, and I think Vibe and possibly Sergeant Steele or Commander Steele, I think they both died. But yeah, it wasn't one of the greatest regarded teams, you know. And of course, in the crisis, Barry Allen died. Yeah, this is the incarnation of the run that we just looked at, practically. Blue Beetle's the butt of the jokes. Beetle, stop posing and get down here. And they're fighting the extremists. And Full Circle, 2002. This must be the new run of the Justice League. It was just launched around that time. Possibly the Grant Morrison run. I'm not too sure, though. Right, we've got JLA Classified. Cold Steel. Somehow the Justice League appear to be robots. Or they're wearing robot suits, I'm not too sure. So book 1 of 2. And book 2 of 2. Or either that or I think they could be inside giant robots of themselves. Interesting. Like Transformers kind of thing. Like being, what's that, Pacific Rim. They're kind of like Pacific Rim robots. Alright, we've got that. The Kingdom again. I think I probably should have shown these with the last lot of the Kingdom, but I got them mixed up a little bit. So we've got Kingdom, Son of the Bat. So that looks like a tie-in of Ra's al Ghul and Batman, doesn't it? Looking at the guy in the green cloak there, it looks like he's maybe Batman and Talia al Ghul's son becomes the new Demon's Head. Planet Krypton. Not sure what's going on. That's like Batman's trying to steal some red kryptonite. Here we have Offspring, who is the son, I believe, of Plastic Man. Oh, and here we have The Kingdom 2. So yeah, I should definitely have shown you these off at the same time I showed the other ones off. Because I was doing a little 25 taster video, I got them all mixed up. I think maybe I should do the taster video after I do the full look at the box video. Little run called DC First. They all seem to be number ones. So what's the idea of this? Is it the first time certain events happened? Like the first time Lobo and Superman clashed? Perhaps the first time Superman and one of the Flashes raced? Yeah, Man of Steel versus original Flash, their first race. Yeah, so I'm getting that's the vibe of these DC First. Representing for the first time the first team up of Alan Scott and Hal Jordan. Now, are these retellings of the original proper first time meetups, or whole new invented stories, imagining a first time that these events happened? Well, in this DC First, we have the Batgirl and Joker. Yeah, probably the first time they met. Definitely not the last time they met, and not that fateful time where the Joker shot her and broke her spine. Left her in a wheelchair as Oracle for a long old time. In fact, she was at Oracle a heck of a lot longer than she was Batgirl, I'm sure. And looks like a Batgirl modern day up here. Possibly Cassandra Cain is looking over the events. Not sure how that's happening. Rest assured, I will read it to find out. Right, then we have a Justice League of America. Now, I think I might have picked up another copy of this recently. This cover's very familiar to me. I mean, obviously, because this is one that I bought way back in the day. This is, and they've got a broken one at the back here, which is a shame. One without a cover. I don't know if this, I can't imagine it's one that I would have picked up, and I definitely would, I don't think I would have taken the cover off. So this one that's in the back here is 183 from October 1980. So this would be a really, really early comic for me. Meeting up with the New Gods there. So I would have been 11. No, actually, yeah, would have just turned 11 when that one came out. Right, but this is 176. Right, possibly. I think this is probably the oldest Justice League of America that I own. One that I definitely bought at the time. Now, March 1980. So this is not older than my oldest book that I bought at the time. I know what I mean. I'm talking about books that I actually paid for off of the shelves at the time of their release. You can tell it's a mess. It's the spine is rolled and everything. Well loved, well read. Yeah, these are volume 1, I believe, of Justice League of America. Haven't got so many of those. 198, 205. I always remember that one. I bought that at the time from the shop, I remember. Yeah, Hector Hammond is inside the head of Firestorm, I think, fighting Professor Steen. I wish I had that Firestorm book where you know, with Batman saying Firestorm, or was it Superman saying Firestorm's joining the Justice League? What are you going to do about it? Or, you know, lump it, like it or lump it, something like that. The Demon's Free, they're always quite cool. The Demon's Free, that's a classic cover as well. Where the giant demon's free, and they're all attacking him. I'm not sure who the artist is. Cockrum and Tangal, is that say there on the side? Bit hard to read. It's another interesting cover. Why is this guy the most important man in the universe? I don't know, but I've got to buy it to find out. This is a classic cover that I always remember. Atom. I think they'd gone into a world, like a micro world, and he took everyone into this micro world with him, and for some reason he started growing. So he's not just bigger than everybody else, he's smaller than normal humans, and they're all just smaller than normal, but yeah, I think that's what the case was. So he's like a big small guy or something weird like that. Look at that, is that one been scribbled on? That would have been, yeah, some possibly me when I was younger. When are these books from? These have got 83. Yeah, I do recall buying these from the old comic stand, but I obviously wasn't buying as regularly as I could have been. 216, 215. Could that be Perez? I'm useless at knowing artists, I've mentioned before, but I know he was good at group shots like that with loads of characters all on the same screen. And look at the interesting way that the logo, DC logo, and the Justice League logo are kind of like falling back into the past, into the distance. And even the Blinking Price logo, it's all sort of shooting up off the screen. It's really strange. Interesting. I'm not sure what way he did it, but it's strange and interesting nonetheless. Right. Still in 1983. This is September issue, so I was in 14 then. Right, so I want to say something. I'm getting in trouble with the sellotape on some of these older books. The sellotape gets really sticky and like horrible and broken, and it's all stuck up. So I've got a few of these ones like this now. I'm wondering if they can be cleaned. I was thinking of getting some lighter fuel, because that's good at getting rid of sticky stuff off of things. I've noticed that before, getting labels off of like CD cases and stuff like that. So maybe I'll give that a try. I've got like a stack of these kind of plastic sleeves that I've got stickiness all over them. I need to shift before I can think about using them. Actually, I think I've done these in the wrong way around. Let me start again with this little batch. So 219, a Thunderbolt Berserk. Yeah, guest star in the All-Star Justice Society. Called Thunderbolt, that's like a genie, isn't it? Johnny Thunder, then Jakeem Thunder used to have power over. Death Games. Bit of spine roll on these. These are old books that I bought back in the day, long before I realised that bagging and boarding was a thing to do. So some of them are not as cool a condition as they could be. Also, there's a few jumps, 223 to 227. Yeah, then went from 219 to 222. And my comic books, I tended to buy around the corner from my dad's house. And my dad, I'd only go and see him every other weekend. So yeah, that could explain. I didn't have a regular order of these like I did with my UK comics. I should have had a regular order with these, but I was getting the funny comics, the UK jokey books, really. I wish I had been getting the American comics instead at the time. I'd have a nice bloody bigger collection. This is the early 80s, so I didn't really start collecting in earnest until this comic shop opened around the corner from where I lived in the late 80s. This one's it's been badly folded and cut. It's cut off the end of the number there. So that's just a printing defect. 249. Help me! They're all being aged. They're all being aged by some sinister power. This is obviously the Detroit Justice League of America, I'm sure. Couple of nice annuals though from there. That's cool. Got number 1 there. Can't remember what his name is. That guy. He looks like Skeletor, but he's like Doctor. Is he Dr. Destiny? I think it's Dr. Destiny. He controls dreams, doesn't he? I'm sure he does. So it's a 1983 annual, and on the back we have the third annual number 3, Special Crisis crossover. Justice League International Annual 1989, all new, all strange, 2 complete tales. Justice League International Special featuring, bless me, Mr. Miracle in the 1990 World Tour. Justice League Antarctica, which is the 4th annual from 1990. You said it shouldn't be done, but they never stopped us before. Justice League Antarctica. Yes. Number 5, and Elseworlds. Then we go straight to number 8. It could be that some of these annuals are kind of put together in places. So it's probably the Bloodlines annuals, I think, all together somewhere. So that probably was like one of those. So number 6 and 7. I don't know what the one after that was. Another Elseworlds one. So annual number 5 and annual number 8 were both Elseworlds. No, this is a different title. Yeah, Justice League International, number 5. Justice League America, number 8. So yeah, that's not at all confusing. And then we got JLA Annual, number 1. So not to be confused with Justice League or Justice League International. This is just JLA. And also it's later on as well. It's from 1997, that one. So yeah. Okay, JLA Annual number 2. So a lot of dodgy sellotape on the back of a lot of these bags. I'm going to have to rebag them before I put them back in the box. A bit low on bags though. I haven't really got many bags, to be honest. I need to go out and buy some more. JLA 80-page Giant. From 96, is that? No, 98. JLA Secret Files and Origins. JLA, their new origin. Lost Pages, How They Met the New Superman. That's back when Superman was 2 Supermen, wasn't he? It was a blue one and a red one. And Secret Files of Origins number 2. The Justice League, Right and Might. Oracle is watching. Okay, got JLA Primeval. Cave paintings there of the Justice League. And on the back here we've got JLA Superpower. Look like 2 like kind of maxi books or something like that. One-off tales. Here we have League of Justice. Another Elseworlds title, like in a kind of a fantasy kind of Dungeons and Dragons-y kind of way. I think it was a bit like, possibly a bit like King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, but you can see there's a little bit of a fantasy element to it as well. So you got the Ranger, Green Arrow, you got the Warrior Amazon, Wonder Woman. Is that Atom there? Looks like he's... Oh no, Atom is flying on the back of a fly, so I'm assuming they're treating him as like he's a mage or something. But yeah, interesting. I think Flash is supposed to be some kind of demon there, looking all red. Okay, JLA 6-parter, Scary Monsters by Chris Claremont. Scary Monsters. That one does look rather scary. And a bit hard to make out. It looks like it's a cave. It looks like it's a cave. Like his mouth is cavernous and looks like stalactites coming off a bit. It's spiky bits. Oh, trapped under ice. Oh, with like undead things swimming up together. More scary monsters. They look like they're morphing into scary monsters themselves. Yeah, she's definitely morphing into a scary monster there. And this woman here seems to be wearing a Plastic Man suit. That's very strange. And maybe he surrounded her to like protect her. But that's kind of... Yeah, that's pretty freaky, that is. That's like copping a feel like all over her body. It's weird. Yeah, Plastic Man, you're weird. Okay, JLA Wildcats Covert Action Teams. Written by Grant Morrison, that one. JLA, welcome to the working week. Plus my first person account of what happened. Yeah, I think this guy's like a YouTube blogger or something like that, and he goes to see the JLA. He wins, I don't know, wins a competition maybe or something. He gets to visit the JLA on their satellite, I think. Yeah. This is a Julie Swartz tribute again. DC Comics presents Justice League of America. I actually did a little bit of looking up about him. I knew he was a well-beloved editor, and I looked up at him. He worked for DC Comics before it was even DC Comics. I think it was All American Comics, and one of the companies that evolved into DC Comics. He wrote one of the very earliest science fiction fanzines called Time Traveller, I think was one of the things that he did as well. Plus he did a literary kind of company where he represented various people, including Ray Bradbury in his early career and H.P. Lovecraft, in his late career before he died. So yeah, so he created Adam Strange as one of the characters he created. Plus, he oversaw the Silver Age, basically, of DC. He was very much to do with giving us such characters as the Silver Age Flash, Silver Age Green Lantern, and various others that I can't remember. And but lots. I think he brought Hawkman back in the Silver Age and Atom. That's a very important chap in the development of DC as a company, as an entity, and the characters that we all love. Okay, we've got a three-parter here called Another Nail. Obviously, there was that Elseworlds just called The Nail, wasn't there? Where for want of a nail, so-and-so happened. But in that case, it was for want of Superman, because Superman wasn't there, and that had a knock-on effect on everything else. That was the idea of The Nail. And I'm assuming there's a similar idea going on with this one, but can't say that I recall what happened in Another Nail. Okay, JLA to Z. This is a guide to the world's greatest superheroes. Yeah, so it's a dictionary or encyclopedia rather of characters of the JLA are related to. So it'll be superheroes and the supervillains. So they kind of cross over slightly, the covers here. Okay. So there's a three-parter. JLA Gods and Monsters. JLA and the Titans. A three-parter. The generation gap just got wider. If one side wins, everybody loses. Ooh. JLA and the Titans. And here we have finally A Soul in the Balance, part 3 of 3. Another three-parter, JLA Paradise Lost. When heaven finds him, all hell breaks loose. Assuming it's something to do with Zoriel, the angel who was a JLA member probably around this time. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing this book, I shouldn't think. For the love of God. And then we have the kingdom, the power, and the glory. It looks like angels and demons are clashing, perhaps, in this. Or that it might even be another angel, actually, because angels aren't all beauteous. I don't think they do have the fearsome aspect as well, don't they? But you have to read the book to find out. He's got lots of eyes over his shirt. Is there an angel known for having lots of eyes? Yeah, I think it could be another angel, but like a war angel or something like that. I think Zoriel was a guardian angel, and I think this may be one of the host of angel army guys. Right, getting up to an hour. I've only done half the box so far. It's maybe a long blinking video. JLA and the Spectre. One-shot Soul War. Who doesn't love a bit of Spectre? Right, we've got the startings here of a whole new JLA run. I think I was saying earlier on that I thought it was Grant Morrison run. And yeah, it is the Grant Morrison run. Justice League of America JLA. Started off in 97, this run. The world's greatest heroes defeated. Who can save you now? V for victory. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a well-regarded run. Most of the stuff that Grant Morrison does, people think turns to gold. Yeah, no, I'm kind of like love and hate with him. Some of his stuff I really like. Some of his stuff I just find a little bit over convoluted and it annoys me. But yeah, when he's keeping it reasonably simple without expecting you to remember every kind of detail like months later, then yeah, I like his stuff. But sometimes he gets a little bit too, yeah, confusing. Hey, Keys to the Kingdom. Now, is that villain called the Key or is he called the Lock? I can never remember. Right, and the Rock of Ages. This is yeah, the ultimate Justice League epic begins. And this one, I believe, is very well thought of. The Rock of Ages. I can't remember what happens. Is this the one where Plastic Man ends up having to go back to the dawn of time, and then because he can't die because something to do with his plastic body, like basically he has to wait out millennia to come back to the present to foil a villain. I'm not sure if this is that one. I probably am incorrect. Especially it's got Darkseid in it, but no, Darkseid. Don't get into that again. You know it's Darkseid, not Darkseid. But I always used to call him Darkseid. If you saw my early videos. No, if they don't escape, the Earth is doomed. Okay, interesting. And then we have the new lineup. I'm guessing that's them thinking about who's going to be in the new lineup. Okay, and whoever is in the new lineup, the first thing they have to deal with is Prometheus Unbound. The men are melting by the looks of it. The men are disappearing, turning into wisps of smoke and blowing away in the breeze. Yeah. Out of luck. Mystery in space. The Justice League appear to have been put into shackles on Rann. Is Adam Strange there to help them, or is he? Looks like he's kind of like leading proceedings almost there. Doesn't seem to be assisting them at all. 21. Perchance to dream. Starro. I believe Starro was the first villain they ever faced together. The old Justice League of America. And then 1 million. Back in a very expensive Brave and the Bold. I think it was a Brave and the Bold they first got together in. I'm not sure what number it is. I think it was in 1960, the first, Justice League, when it first got together in one of the Brave and the Bolds. The reason I think it's that, because I got a Black Hawks book, which I think was from 1960, and there's an advert for, check out Brave and the Bold this month. It's a new team up or something like that. And so that's the closest I think I'm ever going to get to owning that that first appearance of the Justice League as a team in the Brave and the Bold, whatever number it was. It's having an advert in another comic talking about it. That's the closest I will come to over owning that. I've just beaten the world's greatest superheroes. How are you going to stop me? I believe that is Amazo. Of course, has the power of all the heroes combined. Crisis times 5, 1 of 4. Yes, everyone's looking a bit deviltried there. And looks like, is that Justice Society, isn't it? That's right. It's got Jakeem Thunder there in front. And I'm assuming it's Hippolyta. Hippolyta? Yeah, whatever. JLA versus Bruce Wayne. What's Brucey been up to? JLA World War III, part 1 of 2. So it looks like Lex has got some plan. There's Prometheus. No idea who that person is. And up here we have the Shaggy Man. Not quite so shaggy anymore because he's been shaved. They shaved the Shaggy Man. But it's not him inside the Shaggy Man. I think is it General Eiling? I think it might be General Eiling inside the show. What? Number 36, then number 38. I have a comic. What the bloody heck? We have a situation. Right, we've got 38 from February 99. And then suddenly it goes to 47 from November 2000. I'm guessing there's some books not properly put away. That's all I can think. That's all I can hope for anyway. Why would they suddenly have a 9-book gap? Right, number 37 is missing. Then you go straight to 38. Then from 38 goes to 47, then to 48. And then 48, another gap to 55. That is annoying. Annoying. It's a goddamn mystery because I collect. This is my regular Paul book. Surely my comic book company never sort of gave me those issues, and I didn't notice it. That seems. I mean, one issue here and there. Fair enough. Surely I didn't have like a 9-issue missing from my JLA, and this again. This is really bizarre. Number 58, and then nothing until number 73. And then another missing one, and then we have 75. What on earth is going on? And another one missing, and then we have 77. Yeah, you got atomnesia. I'm suffering from greynesia. I have no idea why there are big gaps in this run. I didn't stop collecting at all in that period. Maybe I did, and I don't remember. 78, 79 and 80 are missing, and then we go to 81. I'm praying there's a blinking packet somewhere with lots of random numbers of books in. 81, 82. Meet the new Axis of Evil. They look like a bunch of thugs. Number 83, Stream of Subconsciousness. Number 84, Trial by Fire. Is her name Blaze or something? Didn't she end up killing Martian Manhunter at some point? Right, number 85. These are from 2003. Really baffled about the gaps in this run. Baffled and mortified is what I am. I guess I'll have to bung them on the list to be picked up at some point when I am getting new books again. No rush, because I've got so many books I've got to read before I made a vow, and if you saw my last haul video, I vowed it would be my last haul until I've read all the new pickups that I've got recently, which is possibly, I don't know, it could be up to 500 books I've got that need reading. This cover's got a blinking fingerprint stain on it. Bloody hell. It looks like I ate pizza off it. Batman and Wonder Woman resolutions. Right, 90. 91. It's got an advert inside. '92, 93, 94. Going a bit quicker now. I'm feeling hungry. I've not really eaten any lunch. I was going to have some lunch, and then I started doing this, and I forgot. The 10th circle strikes again and again and again. Oh, did Superman put that sword there? I hope not. Right, Crucifer closes the 10th circle. 98. 99. Still baffled about those gaps in the blinking JLA run. Maybe I quit for a few months and forgot. I don't remember quitting for a few months and forgetting. Obviously, that's the whole thing about remembering, not remembering. If I remembered that I'd quit, then I wouldn't be having this problem. But yeah, it's really baffled me. Or then I know my comic shops can be a bit big and awkward, and sometimes they put your books in your bloody well bags. And because I would like pick them up every month, I'd forget. And I was getting so many as well, and so I'd probably forgotten what I'd read and what I hadn't read. But to have like 9-month gap suddenly in the collection, and for me not to notice it, it's just really bizarre. Dare say there's a perfectly rational explanation, I just don't remember it. Alright, 105. I actually run out of space on my sound card then. I had a horrible feeling that I'd lost like half my footage, but fortunately I hadn't. 106. Yeah, so that's cool. I didn't lose any of the footage, thank goodness. I wouldn't want to have to go back to the beginning of this video again. For a second I thought I was going to have to go right back to the beginning of the video. Right, JLA versus Crime Syndicate of America. It's got a K in there, so you know it's a different place. It's a different America. So I'm not sure what Earth number it is now, but it's the one where everyone's a villain, basically. The thing isn't that... I know in the animated one, I think everyone was a villain apart from the Joker. Joker was the only superhero, the only good guy in the whole of the world in this dimension. There we go. I'm always getting confused. I think it is Owlman, isn't it? Batman is actually Owlman. Superman is Ultraman in that world. And I think Wonder Woman's alter ego is called Superwoman. I think Power Ring might be the name of the the other dimensions. Green Lantern. Yep, I'm still baffled about the gaps in this collection. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm hoping that somehow they've randomly got put into a different place. It's just really bizarre. 112, 113. Yeah, I'm not going to go on about it again because I'm sure I've already belaboured the subject somewhat. 114. I forgot this run went for so long actually. It's just annoying I don't have all of them. It looks like I have to write it down and put them on my list. And when I'm back to buying comics again, once I've read all the ones that I've got at the moment, I can start looking for it. It had to happen. The unavoidable fallout from Identity Crisis begins here. Crisis of Conscience. Yeah, the JLA versus Wonder Woman. That's when they put in that Batman being a bit of a sod nowadays, is because he got post-hypnotic suggestion-y kind of thing that he was like railing against. Hold on a second, what's happened there? Oh, I see. It's a Wonder Woman. That makes sense now. JLA versus the Wonder Woman. So that's suddenly that must have been put in the pile. Or maybe it's a crossover with the Crisis of Conscience kind of thing. Yeah, it confused me for a bit. I thought I'd gone up to 200. Right, yeah, so this is more like it. So then it's back to the hundreds because that's what the JLA title was on. The 200 was the Wonder Woman. Right, so 116, Breaking the Trust. 117, The Secret's Out. He's fighting a few people there. Kronos, Felix Faust, Star Sapphire. I'm not too sure how the guy in the green is there on the top right, getting his clock cleaned, or the guy in the red. That could be Weather Wizard, maybe. He's got a wand of some sort. I'm not sure though. Oh, there's a Fluronic Man, I'm guessing there. Interesting. Forget, or whatever. Tegroff. Yes, because it was Zatanna, wasn't it? Who wiped Batman's mind. Ooh, very controversial. I think she wiped Catwoman's mind at one point as well, and Catwoman's tried to get vengeance against her. Right, last little batch of this JLA run. 119. Infinite Crisis is here. 120. Well, without a Justice League. Oh no, say it isn't so. And Fisticuffs, are they fighting each other for real, or is it just training exercise? Strikes me as a dangerous training exercise because those arrows appear to have tips on them. Yeah, not very sensible. Right, Infinity Crisis, sorry, Infinite Crisis, not Infinity Crisis. I'm getting mixed up with blinking. Infinity Crisis will be a crossover between Marvel and DC, wouldn't it? Infinity Crisis. No, Infinite Crisis. World without a Justice League. Envy is the key. So is that the key, that guy there? One of the villains from the first one. And then the final issue, apparently. The end of the JLA. Green with Envy. World without a Justice League. And that seems to be the last one of that run. So 125. I'm assuming, it says the end of the JLA. I'm assuming I'm not got one's missing at the end. I noticed that run the other day of Teen Titans. There's about 7 issues missing from the end of the run. I'm going to have to have a look at that actually to see if that run where I've got 7 missing from the end coincides with this JLA where I've got a big gap of 9 months. I'm sure I didn't stop like randomly for 3/4 of a year and then start again. I'm sure I remember if I did that. If I end up finding like 9-month gaps in all of my runs, then I'll know that I bloody must have stopped buying for a few months. I really do not have the best brain in the world, but I'm sure I'd remember if I'd suddenly stopped buying for a few months. I'm going to have to check that out, see if those coincide with each other. Anyway, talking of crossovers between Marvel and DC, here we have JLA Avengers. And then we have Avengers and JLA, Busiak and Perez. Yeah, these are Perez type covers, aren't they? Definitely. Look how many characters he's stuck on this page. It goes over to the other side as well. It's got absolutely everybody on there. Bear with me for 5 hours while I go through them all. So we've got, no, I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. But that is a cover and a half. Wow. I wonder if that was ever available as a poster. I'm sure it must have been. That is the crossover of the century, isn't it? That is. Blimey. And then here, this is another awesome cover. I'm assuming it's Perez again. He's done the inside art, so I'm assuming he's done the interior, the outside art as well. Look at that. Superman with Cap Shield and Thor's Hammer Mjolnir. That is, wow. Awesome. Awesomeness. Awesome sauce. Okay, sticking with the Justice League, we've got one of the linchpins, one of the most integral parts of practically every formation of the Justice League, the Martian Manhunter. First is a little 4-part mini from late 88, sorry, late 80s, 1988. So March, was that March the first one? And it goes straight to June. Oh, May, sorry, it was May. May, June, that makes more sense. May, June, July, August. I'm assuming he's gone back to Mars in this one, or he's having memories of Mars. Right, sticking with Martian Manhunter, I think I've got a big bag of Martian Manhunter here. I think it's a big old run that he did. He had his own book for a while, didn't he? So we've got a Martian Manhunter special. We have a Martian Manhunter annual from 1998. Ghosts for Love and Country. Martian Manhunter 0. That should probably be in the middle of this run, actually. Same with this one here, Martian Manhunter 1 million. I'll have to try and stick those in the correct place in the run. John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake. Yeah, Mandrake's a lovely, great artist. I love Mandrake's work. Very sort of in the vein of Wrightson, the darkness of it, the shadows of it. He does great horror stuff. He did the Spectre run, which is awesome Spectre run. I can't remember what volume it was or what years. It was like 90s. It was early or late 90s. I think it was probably late 90s. Fantastic Spectre run with Ostrander and Mandrake. And this is a pretty damn cool Martian Manhunter run, to be honest. Really good look at the character. And let's face it, he is a cool character. All the things that he can do, you know, his shape-shifting ability, his telepathy. There's so much avenue for story when it comes to him. There's John, son of Mars, versus Jem, son of Saturn. Of course, that was another comic, wasn't it? Jem, son of Saturn. I can't say I ever particularly read it, though. Yeah. That's definitely, look at Mandrake. That kind of nasty looking skeletoid thing is, you know, definitely Mandrake kind of work. Even his signature looks ugly. Even his signature looks like it's, you know, drawn by a skeletal hand or something like that. John Triumphant. What's he doing? Fighting the rest of the Justice League. And he's looking evil in that one. Consumed. Oh, that doesn't look good. All for one and one for all. This is a strange one. He's giving the blinking kissy face to fire. Surely not. He's scared of fire, isn't he? That's his weakness, fire. Yeah, so I suppose maybe he's attracted. Maybe he's attracted to that which he fears. I mean, you know, opposites attract. He's scared of fire. She's made of fire. I think he's not just scared of fire. I think he's actually vulnerable to fire. I think fire can kill him and harm him. Yeah, because I think he does get killed at one point, doesn't he? Just around about. I can't remember what the name of the event was now. Batman R.I.P. was part of it, and then it's all to do with the dark. Was it the Dark Side? Was it called that run? I can't remember now. But yeah, he does get killed at one point. Right, Rings of Saturn, episode 2 of 4. Saturn, episode 3 of 4. Right, some more classic Mandrake. Look at this monster. Look at this terrible thing that he is facing. You see John in shadow there, his cloak billowing behind him, and there's this huge beast hovering up, standing above him, all shadow and red eyes, and yeah, just I can't always recognise artist's work, but I do sometimes recognise a Mandrake, especially when it's easy to see his signature. But sometimes there's certain aspects you look at, mainly in the shadowing of bodies, I think, when you look at it and you think, oh, that's Mandrake. I'm pretty sure I've got a piece of Mandrake art. I've said this before a while back. I've not come across it yet, but I'm sure I bought off a website. There was a website selling artist's work, original stuff. And I'm sure I went on there and said, right, yeah, let's get some Mandrake, because I knew I liked Mandrake from the Spectre run. I'm sure I bought a page, maybe a page or a panel. I can't remember now. I've definitely got something by Mandrake. But, my memory is so rubbish that I'd even completely forgot about it for a while. And then sometimes I think to myself, oh, is it right? Did that actually happen, or did I just dream that? But I'm pretty sure I have got a Mandrake page somewhere upstairs. For the life of me, I can't imagine where it would be. I mean, could it be in a long box? Would I've laid it down in a long box somewhere? Maybe in the Spectre run, I'm not sure. And I remember because there was a little sketch came with it as well. I got a little sketch along with the thing, just a little. I think it was a little Spectre, like ahead of the Spectre kind of thing, as a little sketch and like a thanks for purchasing, something like that. But yeah, I can't remember now. I really need to bloody well. And here we go. We got Spectre in there with Martian Manhunter. Jolly good stuff. Yeah, I really need to. I really need to find that. At some point, I will find it when I'm going through my collection. I think this one, if I remember this one, this is a really funny story. This one, it's not serious at all. Sometimes, every now and again to put in a silly issue, it's fine. As long as you don't do it's a matter of tone. If you've got like a really serious thing all the time, then you bring in a silly one. Sometimes it could be jarring, but if you just every now and again bring in a funny one, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is cool. We're having a silly week this week. We're having a little bit light-heartedness before it gets back into the the old tone. But this one, basically, I think Booster and Blue Beetle played a prank on John Jones, stole all the Oreos, bought all the Oreos in town, and he's got a bit of an Oreo fetish. Not a fetish, but craving. He's addicted. Addiction is the word, really. He's got an Oreo addiction, and the whole of the story is him wanting his Oreos and can't find them anywhere. And it's just a bit just a funny one. You have to assume maybe that some of these funny ones aren't really meant to be in the actual. Like an Elseworlds maybe, that don't actually exist, that it didn't actually happen. You have to kind of imagine that anyway. Alright, here's some coolness. Ah yeah, Martian Manhunter and Etrigan the Demon, art by Mandrake. Look at the way he portrays the demon there. I don't think he's done a run of Demon. I don't believe so. Anyway, I think that should definitely be a thing. Yeah, Mandrake doing a Demon run would be bloody awesome. All right, from the page of JLA Martian Manhunter, Altered Egos, 3 parts of this one. Some nice black and white there. It looks like he's done the story in this one as well. It just says by Tom Mandrake, so I'm assuming he's done art and story in this one. Change of artist from here. Beretta. Beretto. Yeah, Chican over in the corner there. Right, that's the conclusion. So 36, that's 3 years worth of Martian Manhunter in that run. And it was a pretty good title actually. It was pretty enjoyable. Well written, good art. And yeah, I'd recommend it if you haven't picked it up already. If you see it going cheap or anything, then it's definitely worth picking up that one. Right, the last handful of books is out of the box. We have Extreme Justice. Not just your common or garden justice, but some extreme justice. 0, 1, Strike Back. Yeah, I think this was like a proactive kind of attempt at Justice League. I think they did that later on as well, didn't they? When they did that other event where they faced off against Prometheus and he killed Leanne and chopped off Arsenal's arm. That was a sort of another attempt at what they did here, like a more proactive team going out searching for criminals before they hatch their plots. There's definitely quite an intelligent way of doing things, possibly. Booster Gold in his late 90s? Yeah, his late 90s armour. His armour got a bit more beefier, didn't he, for a while? Is that Monarch there? Return of the King? Yeah, that's Maxima, that one lady, isn't she? I'm sure that's Maxima. I forgot her name once when I was doing one of these things. I couldn't remember her name was for the life of me, but it just jumped in my head that time. Right, you gotta love a superhero whose head's on fire, unless your heart is dead. Right, Underworld, Starlight, Starbright, kill everyone in sight. She looks like she's ripped off her face there or something. Is that Star Sapphire? Ah, yeah, it must be Star Sapphire because there's Predator. So that will be not Carol Danvers. I keep saying Carol Danvers when I mean Carol Ferris. Yes, and that's the other personality that's inside her. Not only does she have the Star Sapphire inside her, but she has the Predator, who's like the love to the point of madness kind of part of her persona. It's really quite strange, but I really like the costume, and I really, not so much the character. I wish he was his own character. I wish somehow he could break away from Carol Ferris, become his own man, be a superhero, because his costume is badass. Totally badass to the bone. Right, here we are, fighting Monarch. And of course, this is interesting because, of course, Captain Atom was originally supposed to be the Monarch, wasn't he? That was originally the decision was. Or so legend has it anyway. But apparently, because it got out there and people knew about it, DC were like, well, we can't have that then. We'll have to change it. We'll change it. I know. We'll make it Hawk instead. And so yeah, they made Hawk go bad. All right, Extreme Justice number 16. 17, against the Legion of Doom. Right, and this is the last one I have in this box. So I'm assuming that was the last one of that run. Not a super long run, just 18 months. So yeah, I quite enjoyed it. You know, any bit of Justice League. It's got good members in the team. The dynamic was cool, and yeah, cool stuff, man. Right, bit of a controversial book, this one. Identity Crisis. Michael Turner cover there. Yeah, all pretty sad stuff. This is another thing, I mentioned it earlier on, things annoying me with comic books, with them consistently killing off characters. It starts off with elongated man Ralph Dibny's wife Sue gets killed, doesn't she? She dies. And then it turns out that it was the estranged wife of Atom that did it. Ray Palmer's ex-wife, Jean Loring, I think her name is. who had done it somehow. She was trying to sort of set up a plot. I think does Firestorm die in this one as well? I think this might be the one where he gets stabbed through the chest by bloody well Deathstroke the arsehole. Apparently, his real name apparently is Deathstroke the Terminator, but I call him Deathstroke the arsehole because he's a bloody arsehole. Sorry for the profanity. And I used to like him, but then I just turned him into the super bad guy, basically. But I liked him when he's not an anti-hero anymore at all. He's just a total villain. He killed Atom as well, the second Atom, Ryan Choi, didn't he? So no, he's just the total a-hole. Yeah, so that was Identity Crisis. I think that was the one I was thinking it was anyway. I'm pretty sure that was what I was thinking of, where I could be mistaking it for another different crisis, but I'm pretty sure that was the one. And it turned out they thought that Sue Dibney might have been killed by Dr. Light, because Dr. Light in the past had sexually assaulted her, and for some reason he wanted to wipe his memory out, Dr. Light, so he wouldn't know or wouldn't remember her identity or how to get hold of her or whatever. And Batman was against them wiping his identity. He just didn't think it was a right thing to do, and so they wiped his identity as well. That's what came out in this Identity Crisis, and they said that's why he was, his personality was getting more extreme all the time. Something to do with the fact his mind had been messed with. Right, sticking with Justice League members, I wasn't too sure I had this title. I've actually used this cover as part of my opening title sequences. Obviously I put a far better looking head on the body there and changed it to the Grey Canary, but I wasn't 100% sure if I had this book or not. But yeah, so it's cool, I do have this book. It was a 4-parter from 91, Black Canary New Wings. There we go, quite nice covers. Not sure who's done them, but they're quite nice. I quite like them. More Black Canary, another run from 93. The hair's going a bit crazy there, a bit wild in that one. Don't think she wants to have too long hair because it must get in the way for combat. I remember once I got beaten up by a bunch of guys coming back from a pub late at night, and my hair just got totally in my face. I couldn't see a bloody thing. So yeah, that was... So I can't imagine it's much better for her. Yeah, but this is comics. It hasn't got to be realistic, has it? In fact, it's got to be unrealistic. Otherwise you wouldn't read them. Okay, and this looks like it's the end of the run of this one. She's fighting a villain there called Capoeira, which is a fighting style from Brazil. Ooh, it's a key, but I don't imagine that character ever came back. I certainly don't remember them anyway. There's a new man in Dinah's life, Ray, and then here's the Huntress. That's not supposed to be Black Canary, is it? That's supposed to be Black Canary with a change of look. Enter the Huntress, and there will be pain and terror as 2 gallant women roam the world searching for a fiend. I like that cover though. The different colour tone going down it. It was cool. I think that is supposed to be... I don't know. She looks a bit beefier to be Black Canary. So I think it is though. It's a bold look. I don't recall her having that look. Free the prisoners, and after a night of pain and terrible violence, there can be only mercy. And going out of a bang. Yeah, Black Canary with black hair. No fishnets. Fair enough. I believe that's the whole of that one. I don't have any more anyway, so must just run for a year. Got 3 more packets of books to look into. Right, now this one, I don't know, this is the conclusion of the 6-part. This is a 6-part miniseries, and I think I saw someone saying this has got like a good key in it. Like maybe, I think, no, some reason I've got a feeling there was a good key in one of these books. 6-part miniseries, Legends, Ostrander, Wayne, Byrne and Kessel. If I see a cover and it rings a bell, that I remember someone talking about it. It was for some reason I was thinking of the first mention of Oracle, but it wasn't this one. It was in a first Oracle was in a Suicide Squad, wasn't it? But I'm just sure I remember seeing someone going through these Legends lately and saying there was a first appearance, but I don't think looking at them that they're ringing any bells. So maybe it was a different. Was there a longer run as well of Legends? Wasn't there a different Legends at one point? Oh, I'm getting myself confused. Yeah, I don't think there was any keys in that one. I'm not sure. Daz, where are you? I need your help, mate. Was there any keys in that one? Right. Right, and another little four-parter here. The Weird. Who is? What is the Weird? He's the Weird. And he is also the Weird. From 88, these ones. He's weird. I'll say that for him. That weird fellow. He's pretty weird. Yeah. There you go, nice little four-parter. He has come back more recently as well, a while after, maybe about 10 years after, I think, maybe longer than that. He was did a couple of like Missed You in Space kind of little minis with Captain Comet way up in there in space. And I think it went in with the Ran Thanagar War and stuff like that. Right, and this is the very last little batch. Just 4 more comics to go. And we have some more Justice League related stuff. Elongated Man, obviously in happier times before his wife was killed and he went, and he's dead now as well, unless he's come back in the new rebirth. I'm not too sure, but yeah, Elongated Man, a little European tour in '92, 4-parter, pretty quite a fun book, this one as I recall. Yeah, that's it. That is the end. My friends, that is the end. So I'm off then. Thanks for watching this video. I think the camera's been doing silly things and pointing in the wrong direction. I hope it wasn't missing the books. Right, so that's it then. Cheers for watching, and check out the blog. I'll put more information about the comics in the blog, if I can be bothered. And yeah, come back on Friday. I'll be going through some birthday books. Next Wednesday I'll be opening up another box, and it's exciting times because all the books downstairs have now been opened. I'll be going upstairs to my room where all my other boxes are stored, and I'll be digging out some short boxes and long boxes from there. So woohoo, fun times ahead. Cheers for watching. Bye. Oh, actually, no. I've got to tag 2 people. I've been doing that, trying to tag 2 people in all of my videos. So let's think, who can I tag this time? Let's tag Comic Vantage. We'll tag Comic Vantage. I've not checked out enough of his videos actually. I should check out some more, but I think I've hit the subscription button now. And let's do I can't remember if I get this name right. Pages, Plastics, and something else beginning with another letter. I can't remember, but yeah, I'll put the link up on the corner and go and check him out. He does lots of like toy sort of stuff, like lots of so far what I've seen on there, he's done lots of I can't remember the name of them. What's the name? The Creature from the Black Lagoon. He's done a few stuff of them, and he has been showing off some comics as well on there. So yeah, go and check out his page. And cheers for watching, guys, and hopefully girls, because you know this hobby's for everybody.